What is up, guys? Welcome to Cerny Gaming. If you want to help support the channel, then go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons, and don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Today we're going to be checking out my Adric Might build. This Magicka Templar pulls some awesome sustained damage and does a great job of staying alive against ridiculous odds. In fact, it's so good that I use this as my main in PvP right now. But before we check this out, I do have a small announcement. We finally have the official Cerny Gaming website for the Elder Scrolls Online up and running. I've been so excited for this, and it's currently unfinished, but new content will be added to it every single day, including this build. So if you want to check out the written guide for the Adric Might build, then go ahead and click the link in the description section below. So let's check out the core details, starting with the race. We're going to be using a High Elf for this build, which gives us a great spread of max Magicka, spell damage, and even a resource return mechanic as well, which is always useful. If you prefer, a Dark Elf works just as well though. Next up is your food buff, which will be the Clockwork Citrus Fillet. This is perfect for most Magicka PvP characters, giving us a nice boost to our health, Magicka, health recovery, and Magicka recovery. If that's too expensive for you though, then just go with the Witch Mother's Potent Brew. To ensure that we can keep up with our opponents, the Mundus Stone will beat the Atronach, granting a hefty amount of Magicka recovery. For your potion, use standard spell power potions so that you don't have to slot a different skill just to get major sorcery. It's also useful to carry different kinds of potions for a variety of situations, but this one will be the main one that you use. For your champion points, we use Ironclad, Biting Aura, Resilience, and Master at Arms from the Warfare section, and in the Fitness section we have Boundless Vitality, Fortified, Rejuvenation, and Slippery. Now that we've checked out the core details, let's move on to the gear. The first set that we're going to be using is Mark of the Pariah, which gives increasing resistances the lower your health is, making it a lot easier to save yourself from a tricky situation. Next up is War Maiden, which is the bread and butter of any Magicka Templar PvP build. All of our class skills cause Magicka damage, which is boosted massively by this set. On the back bar restoration staff, we use a simple willpower staff to boost the potency of our healing. If you prefer, the Maelstrom's precise regeneration staff makes a very good addition to this build, adding some recovery, but you'll need to slot regeneration if you do this. And finally, one of my absolute favourite sets in PvP is Zol the Ever Wakeful. This one can be tricky to get a hold of because it comes from the Watcher boss in Imperial City Nobles District, and the shoulder costs a hefty amount of Telvar from the Sewer Merchant. Nonetheless, this set is absolutely incredible in PvP and is one of the best additions I ever made to a character. When you use Break Free, stun all enemies in a decent radius around you. Now that sounds simple, but that completely shuts down gankers, squads of enemies, burst combos, and pretty much anything else that your opponents could throw your way. This is one of the best survivability sets in the game. So next up is our skills. Now on the front bar we have Puncturing Sweep, Explosive Charge, Inner Light, Radiant Glory, Power of the Light, and Crescent Sweep. And on the back bar we have Repentance, Honor the Dead, Inner Light again, Extended Ritual, Channeled Focus, and Solar Prison. Puncturing Sweep is our main spammable that deals great sustained damage. Use this to apply pressure and get people in range for our execute. Next up is Explosive Charge, which serves as a gap closer and stuns at the same time, setting the enemy up to be pressured down with Puncturing Sweep. Now this can be a little bit of a flex slot if you aren't needing a gap closer, and Aurora Javelin makes for a great alternative. We have Inner Light slotted on both bars to boost our max Magicka and crit chance, which makes for much more potent damage output and healing as well. One of the signature skills of the Templar, Radiant Glory, is our execute, and quite possibly the best execute in the game. This deals tremendous damage to opponents at low health and is incredibly difficult to shrug off. Power of the Light brings some burst damage to the build, dealing a batch of damage 6 seconds after casting, but it requires sustained damage in that window to meet its true potential. Our main ultimate is Crescent Sweep, which deals great damage around us and more to enemies in front of us, while also applying a nasty AoE ability to the player as well. Repentance allows us to restore a ton of health and stamina to ourselves and allies around us, while also passively granting us recoveries on that bar. Our primary burst heal is Honor the Dead, which heals for a ridiculously high amount and even refunds a ton of the cost back if we're below 75% health, which typically we would be when using this ability, but you don't want to overuse it because it is quite expensive. Extended Ritual is an absolute requirement for Templars that allows us to counter so much that other players can throw our way. Instantly purge negative effects, heal over time in a large area for you and your allies, and allow your allies to purify themselves of negative effects as well. Channel Focus is a frankly overpowered skill that grants major resolve and gives us a massive 242 Magicka every second, equating to the same as 484 Magicka recovery. And on top of that, we heal over time, which is increased massively while standing inside the rune as well. Finally, we have Solar Prison. This one is kind of a flex slot as other ultimates can be used here. Shooting Star is great if you slot Javelin to stun your opponent right before it hits, for example. I use Solar Prison because it is unparalleled at applying AoE pressure against stacked enemy groups and allows your allies to deal a massive burst of damage against all of them with this synergy. Alright, so now what we're going to do is go ahead and check some footage out that shows the build in action. That should be all that you need to know to make your own Magicka Templar for PvP. It really is one of the most fun and effective classes to play, and that Zol set really makes this build shine. Thanks very much guys. If you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and remember to check out this build on my new website. Take care, and as always, have fun.